Welcome, Libra. It's June 2018, Dadhichi here, once again, with the forecast for your sun sign. Important time of your life, actually, and I want to talk predominantly about this transit of Uranus, which you may have been hearing about in the 8th house, sign of Taurus, 8th house for you, the other sign of the zodiac that is ruled by Venus, your sun sign ruler. It's a predominantly important transit because the 8th house is one of those very difficult houses to comprehend, even for astrologers. It is a house of deep psychological significance. It is a house of sexuality. It is a house of intimacy and also shared resources. Here I'm just animating the chart to just show you the triggers. This is an important trigger just around the 9th and 10th, when the moon swings into this 8th house and starts to activate. The moon is an emotional planet. You'll note here that it relates to your professional activities. It's important, and I animated it to this point because Venus, your ruler, and the ruler of this 8th house, which has to do with the sign of Uranus right now, means this has an intimate link, at least for the time being, with your professional activities. And the action of Uranus is to completely eliminate, well, it's a little bit different to Pluto. Pluto's job is to eliminate. Uranus is to explode and just revolutionize what's happening. It's the planet of disruption, change. It is definitely a planet of change. Actually, all of the planets are planets of change. But the way in which we change, as you can see, you know, our skin changes as we get older, our children grow taller, our abilities intellectually change. So everything's changing, but this one for you right now is a planet of change, and intimacy, sexuality is very high on the list for you. And it's a shared resource, obviously, because it's not the resource of money, which is also covered by this, and shows some of the changes that will take place there. But, you know, our emotions and our sexuality and our feelings are also immaterial commodities that we share, especially when we're married or we love someone. And so we see that the next 7 years, because this is a lengthy transit, overall an 84-year cycle throughout the zodiac, here for 7 years, all these levels of psychological intimacy and shared resources are going to be shaken up to the core by this planet. So you have to be prepared for it, you have to know how to deal with it, and you have to roll with the punches right now. 8th house is a difficult house, as I said, and you may have to eliminate certain things from your life. We see the planet of elimination, Pluto here, will eventually, as Uranus moves around in the next 4 or 5 years, come into a better position with Pluto, so the eliminative processes will be welcome at that time. The new moon is in your 9th house of belief systems, so of course we can see that the other planets are going to be in concert working with this revolutionary Uranus in your 8th house. The belief systems shape the way you relate to others, and we see here the importance of being open to that. Mercury, another friendly planet relating to your belief systems as it rules Gemini, is here in the 10th house of career. So perhaps straight after this new moon, as you see the moon moving there across Mercury, can relate to the way also that you're conducting your business. Mercury at this time shows the very powerful communications that are taking place, not necessarily easy, as we see the opposition to Saturn here. You could be stifled in the way you want to communicate your ideas. And so this is why you may have to go into damage control, the sudden and abrupt shifts that take place. The way you look, you may or may not be amenable to those changes. Even if you want to roll with those punches, you may be obstructed here. Saturn's still in your 4th house, which is family, and that dominates the chart to a large extent as well, being in the angle, or what we call the foreground. So here you have two foreground planets, Mercury and Saturn in opposition, then Mercury across the opposition to Pluto. A very difficult period in the third week, end of the second and third week of June for you. Venus is in the 11th house, which is friendships. That's nice. That's your ruling planet. You still have some passionate episodes there to look forward to around the earlier part of the month. And then when Mercury moves into this segment, we can see a very powerful connection there to friends and alliances, along with that full moon, which is betwixt this Saturn-Pluto. Full moon may not be easy, but there's where you're going to be addressing some of the problems you have with your family. Fourth house is family. And just at the tail end of the month, back to where the moon commenced, Mercury there is going to help you finish the month on a predominantly good note, I think, notwithstanding the fact that you have to be careful of the early few days in July, which we'll get onto next month, where Mercury will move into the opposition of Mars. Certainly tread carefully with children if you're a parent, or younger people. That's where some of those problems may lie. Do take time to go to the website, astrology.com.au. We have a whole article there, a blog on Uranus and Disruptor, and your monthly, daily and yearly horoscope is awaiting your perusal too. Take care. See you next month. Bye-bye.